So it's time for me to attempt to make some vegan meatless meatballs, and I'm roughly following the ingredients that is on the back of those Yves Cuisine vegan bites. And it doesn't matter which one you follow, either the kale and quinoa or the broccoli bites, because I'm modifying the ingredients anyway. And again, I'm totally winging it. I have no idea what kind of measurements to do and proportions, so I'm just gonna do an experiment. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But if it does and I need modifications, then I will film a proper video. But I still wanted to do a step-by-step just so you could see how I attempted to put a recipe together. So I put in roughly a cup of roasted sweet potato and I mashed it. I'm using a cup of cooked cooled quinoa. I will be throwing in roughly a quarter cup of onions, and that might be too much for my liking. And I have terrible knife skills, so don't mind the terrible chopping. I'm not sure about how much garbanzo bean flour I'm going to need. I think I'll try half a cup. And then I need something to bind the meatball, so like an egg, because I don't want to use eggs. And so I'm going to maybe use, I'm going to try a tablespoon, because I know if I have too much of flaxseed, it really makes me go to the bathroom, and that's not what I want to do. For vegetables, I'm going to put, I don't know, maybe not all of this broccoli, and these cucumbers are for the sushi I'm going to make later. And then I'm going to put in I'm going to cut the carrot up into smaller pieces. And then I'll put a little bit of garlic and ginger and some apple cider vinegar. All right, so I will let you know how that goes. All right, I'm going to record this so I don't forget what measurements I used. I just patted everything down to see if it was going to be sticky enough. So that's going to be my first try. So I probably used about half a cup of chickpea flour, which is a garbanzo bean flour. I used about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, probably a teaspoon of garlic, a teaspoon of ginger, probably a tablespoon of flax. I think I used about a half a cup of broccoli and half a cup of carrots. So I'm going to see if I can actually roll these into meatballs and see how they are. So here they are. They look pretty darn cute and they stuck together pretty well. I've got 21 out of the ones that I made. I did modify the recipe a little bit. I only used half a cup of chickpea flour, and I should have probably used a cup because I found that I had to keep adding flour as I rolled them because it was really sticky. And the taste is good. It's a bit oniony for my taste because I had a quarter onion in there. Maybe next time only an eighth of an onion would do, but you need that for the flavor. And I'm pretty happy with how everything tastes. So I'm going to try popping them in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes and see if they, they don't even really need to cook because everything is raw and vegan in here. So I could even just pop one of these in my mouth right now and I'm sure it would be perfectly fine. But I do want to warm them up and maybe see if they'll get a little bit brown and see if maybe with the cooking some of the flavor of the ginger and the garlic will come out a little bit more. And it would be nice if they actually, stayed together like a meatball. So I will let you know what they look like and how they taste like after they're out of the oven. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out so far for not having a recipe. So after 20 minutes at 350 degrees, they look done to me. I pick one up and they're a little brown at the bottom, which is good, which means they didn't burn. I could have probably flipped them over halfway through, but I really don't see the point. They feel nice and firm, like they got a bit of a crust on them, and that's from the quinoa and the chickpea flour and the flax. So they look and feel good. I'm just gonna taste them in just 1 second here. And they did hold together when I took a bite of them. I am gonna have to play with the flavors though, because something's missing, and it probably could be something just basic like salt. But honestly, they're so nice and fresh. And I'm not knocking the ones that you buy in the store because I am going to buy them still, just purely out of convenience. I don't have time every week to make a bunch of homemade vegan meatless meatballs. But these are nice. They're perfect for my spaghetti squash and homemade salsa that I made. And I can just put like 4 on the top and that's a meal. And I feel like I've had a real spaghetti dinner. So I'd say this was a pretty successful first attempt. And what I plan on doing is I did invest in a tripod and a mic So once I have time to play around with that and set it up, I ordered it from Amazon. I will actually film again how I made these, and maybe next time I'll find a better spice combination just to, you know, kick it up a notch. Like I've said before, I'm not really a hot, spicy person, but I still want some seasonings and flavor in it. So that's what I did, and I'm very happy with my vegan meatless meatballs made with quinoa, and the vegetables were sweet potato, carrot, and broccoli, and some onion.